Let's rein in those inks and the other random stamping supplies in your stash. Hey y'all, I'm Elisa, the Scrappy Wife behind ScrappyWife.com, and today we're throwing it back to an organization overhaul series that I did with my Patreon community in 2025. And in this one, we're talking about inks and stamping supplies. They can be really tricky to organize, so I'm going to walk you through how I organize mine and some things to keep in mind. Let's go. Again, this is one of those supplies that can vary a lot depending on what type of crafting you are doing. I would guess that if you are a card maker, you have a lot of different kinds of inks, a lot of different colors, and there are certain ways that you can store those that just make them easier to grab for. So let's go check it out. I am extremely partial to my ink storage. I love how it's stored. I have two kinds of ink primarily. I have Distress Oxide inks right here, and then these are all from Creative Retreat, which is a faith journaling company that I used to be on their creative team and have a lot of their inks as well. I love these ink storage towers from scrapbook.com. I have them in clear because I love clear storage. You guys know that about me, but you can also pick these up in white. They work really well for all kinds of ink. Now, I know there are some inks, for instance, like close to my heart, some that have a very unique size. Most of the time, those particular companies will also sell storage that matches their ink. So that's something to consider. But what I have found with the scrapbook.com storage is that it is big enough to fit pretty much any ink that I have tested in it thus far. I really like it. I prefer vertical storage like this, having it out on my desk, but let me show you some cool options. If you are someone that wants to store your ink in drawers, these also work really well in the drawer. This is not the ideal way to store your ink pads because, of course, the ink is going to kind of come to the back when you store them upright like that. That's been my experience, but it's going to take a while for that to happen. This works really well, and then you can easily, when you have that kind of file system, you can easily see your colors, things like that. So if you want them in drawers, this totally works. Like I said, I prefer to have mine out. I think, again, they are a very beautiful supply, organized in rainbow color. Having them on your desk is a wonderful way to go. Big fan of the ink storage towers. If perhaps you are just starting out, maybe you only have a few colors, I think Distress Oxide is one of the most popular kinds to start out with, especially if you were doing some mixed media. There is nothing wrong with having them stacked like this, having them lined up like this in your drawer. The key is labeling. There are downloadable labels, and I will see if I can find those and link them. I print them out and cut them. You can also easily create your own. I would just get some white sticker paper, rub some of your Distress Oxide or your ink on that sticker paper, cut out your rectangle, and then you have a very clear label as to what the color is going to be, which is the most important. When you're picking out your inks to use in whatever project, you're going to want to see the color. Many people have had a lot of success. Maybe you have 10 or less inks. There's no need for you to have a full tower quite yet. Stacking them will work just fine as long as you can clearly see the colors, because this is not going to be a barrier to, pulling out the color that I'm looking for. But if you can't tell the colors, if it looked like this when it was sitting on your desk, there's no way you would remember what those other colors were, and the likelihood that you would grab for them would be really small. So take the time, do the labels. It's really important. And let me talk about something else that's really important with your inks. Something I want you to consider as you're organizing your inks is taking the time to create a swatch book. This is my swatch book. It needs to be updated for sure. But what I did was pick up these inserts. These are intended for coin collecting. I will link some on Amazon. I cut down watercolor paper because I thought it would hold up the best, and that has been the case so far. I actually created these using a stamp set from By the Well for God. That's why it's like clearly labeled. You don't have to do ones that look quite this organized, or you might say OCD, but they don't have to be quite this. All you need is a little square that has the stamped ink, the actual stamped ink, and then labeled with the color of that ink and probably the brand. So all of these are labeled color, brand, and then you have the ink stamped on it. And it works really well. So these are my Distress Oxide inks, and then I used the same format for a lot of my different inks. So you get into the oxide sprays. This is a great way to see the true color. Sometimes when you are downloading those labels from Ranger or other places, it's not always the exact true color. With Distress inks specifically, you can also add water to them so that you can start to see what they would look like with the water. These are different acrylic markers. You guys, there's all kinds of things that you can swatch, and those are acrylographs, and it can be really helpful. I like to keep mine in a binder. There are lots of people that like to just keep a little binder ring and have all of these have a punch in them, and you can just flip through your swatches. Those are really great, those little binder rings, because you can actually just toss it in your purse if you're going shopping at the store, so you remember what colors you have. You can pull out different swatches for putting together different color schemes based on if you're playing with your inks, what might go together. These are really helpful. So all you got to do, cut out little squares. I like this particular format, so I'll link these coin pocket things down below as well. Cut out little squares, put your ink down, label them with a pen, something like that. It doesn't have to be all stamped in this exact way. But this has been working really well for me. It just needs a little updating. If you're just starting to collect your inks and you're like, well, I only have 5, go ahead and swatch the ones you have. I speak from experience, because eventually you won't have just 5. Eventually you'll have 50, and then the swatching process will feel overwhelming. So start with the ones you have. Even if you only have, 5 in this, that's fine. But then you'll just be able to add as you go, and it won't feel overwhelming. If you're like me and you started swatching later in the game, take your time, put on a good movie. It's kind of a mindless activity to do, but it's very, very satisfying in the end as well. Something to consider, but swatching has been really important for me, and it helps me to use my supplies just a bit more. All right, let's take a second just to talk about these tins. These are from Ranger. They are designed especially for the mini distress blocks. These are the inks that I started with when I first started getting into inking earlier in my crafting journey. And these work really well. They're portable. They hold them all together. We talk about containers all the time. Ranger actually offers a lot of different containers that will hold their ink. The thing I don't like about this, I've talked before, I don't like that there's a lid on it. It just kind of keeps me from getting to my supplies a little bit easier. For me, if I'm being honest, I just don't use these blocks very much anymore. I tend to go with Distress Oxide. This is regular Distress ink, so it doesn't have that same, it doesn't oxidize when you add water to it, so I prefer the other one. But I have these. These are ones that I personally need to go through and check and see if they have dried up. Ranger offers a wide variety of different tins. They have tins for their alcohol inks. They have tins for their Distress Oxides. They have all different kinds of tins, all that have lids on them. While they are really effective, they divide up your storage. They are going to have lids. So if that's something you love, then that might be something you want to look into. But if you're like me and you would rather just be able to grab your supply without having to pull it all the way out of a drawer, open the tin, grab the thing, then you might not want to consider that one as your go-to for your storage. But you can see this again is something that's a little bit farther back. It's not something I'm going to grab for very often. In fact, that's most likely something I'm going to let my kids use when they're wanting to ink. And the last inks that I have are these right here. I don't have a very big collection of acrylic ink that comes in these things. This is really fun though to paint with, by the way. But I keep them on risers so I can see the color, so I can remember that they're there. If those were in a drawer, I feel like I would never, ever, ever use them. But because I see them every now and then, I want to grab for them and try something new, and I don't forget that I have them. So I store them like that as well on the risers. Risers are always going to be super helpful for making the most out of your shelves so that you can see your supplies. And while we are talking about stamping ink, let's just do a quick talk on the rest of my stamping supplies that aren't stamps. I keep them in a drawer. Again, I love these little bins. I keep all of my acrylic blocks together, blending brushes, things like that in the drawer. All of my little dome, these are extra domes, these are clean domes. I keep that all together. This is embossing ink. This is chalk ink. These are some that I probably need to go through that quite possibly have dried up, but chalk ink I use in Bible journaling sometimes because it doesn't go through the page. Again, all of my inking things, all of my stamping things, you can see I organize it. It's kind of in a zone in my room. So I have my ink up in this cabinet. This is where all of my stamps are, right here. And then I have more supplies, my stamp blocks that I've used, some bigger stamps, all of my stamping supplies, all in one area, one zone, makes it easy to find what I'm looking for. So it's definitely something to consider as you're getting your space organized, creating zones where like supplies, not just identical supplies, but like supplies that you would use together are all located in one place. So how are you currently storing your ink or your stamping supplies? Let me know down in the comments below. We all have different ranges. Some of you have a ton. Some of you are only just starting out. You only have a few. How do you like to store them? Let me know what's working, what's not, and what ideas have you gained from this video. I hope it was really helpful. If you have any questions, as always, leave them below. I would love to help you problem solve and troubleshoot as you try to organize your space. All right. I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it creative.